Yes, I can definitely hear you. Awesome.
Hello and welcome to the semi-finals of the World Championships 2018 for Yu-Gi-Oh! I'm here with Jerome McHale and Robert Boyachin. How you doing, guys?
I'm doing good.
I'm excited for these finals.
Yeah, we kind of had a pretty exciting day yesterday, full of twists and turns. Now we're down to just 4 duelists.
Yep, 4 duels, 4 different decks. First time that's ever happened in a World Championship top 4. I can't be more excited.
And we got a really great match for you coming up here for the first one.
Yeah. Before the match, though, as you can see, we're in this wonderful venue, very much different from where we were yesterday. Nobody's here yet, but they will be during the finals. Hopefully it should be full of people. So that's going to be quite exciting.
Yeah, it is going to be great. This place is way bigger than it was last year.
Oh, yeah?
If you tuned into our broadcast last year, you know, it was packed. It was wild and crazy the entire time. And I think it's going to be even better this year.
That's awesome. I've been really looking forward to seeing they've got the banging things. I have no idea what they're called. Thundersticks.
Thundersticks.
Bunch of Konami Thundersticks. I'm a big fan of those.
Now the red and blue side. So basically they got it divided up. You can see on the stage behind us that it's divided onto the red side or the blue side, and you can pick who to cheer for and that sort of thing.
Yeah, you can pick the Thundersticks based on that as well, because we got red and blue ones.
But we've got picks as well, do we not? So the last 4 decks are Trickstar versus Sky Striker, which is going to be our match for you here, and then Altergeist versus Goki.
Yeah.
So Luke, you take a more data-driven approach to this.
Yeah, exactly. So the player with the deck with the highest win rate is actually out now. He didn't quite make it, but that in itself says something that not all of the decks have, there's not like one real big standout deck in terms of statistics. But as far as the stats are concerned, the pure Trickstar player that we still have left is sitting on a 66% win rate, which is pretty awesome. That's a huge win rate, but small amount of games, so it could change very rapidly. And that is swiftly followed by Sky Striker on 55, Altergeist 53, and then Goki on 48. That's a big shocker.
That is pretty shocking for what people consider to be the front runner for the entire tournament.
Yeah, exactly. But that can never account for like the number of players that are playing it. So there are a lot of Goki decks, which means that win rate may have been brought down by the players who weren't necessarily more experienced or might have done a strange build or something like that. But still, yeah, it shows that the Sky Striker win rate is actually very more accurate than the rest with 55. So that's got to be a good shout for the tournament.
And it doesn't help Goki that everybody's gunning for them.
Yeah,
definitely. Exactly. Yeah, I think we've seen and we talked a lot about that. All the decks have been really teching for Goki.
Yeah, all 3 of the other decks in the top 4 are designed to beat Goki.
Yes.
And it's really going to come down to which of these decks are proactive enough to sort of survive and have the best matchup against these other strategies.
Yes.
Yeah. And as Luke said right now, I think we're all thinking it might be this Trickstar deck.
Yeah.
As much as I like the Sky Striker deck, and I was boasting about it yesterday, this has to be the worst matchup left in the tournament. Yeah.
So speaking of this, the Trickstar deck, it's what we have coming up for you just now, and we've been talking about it, and we think it's pretty tough matchup for the Sky Striker player.
And it's a well-built deck too. It uses many of the things that we were thinking were going to be big cards coming into this tournament. Stuff like Cyber Dragon, Eater of Millions, and just about as many hand traps as you can pack.
Yeah.
Both the regular monster type and the actual literal trap type.
Yeah. And the thing is that the Sky Striker deck had Trickstar added to it, specifically in the TCG was really, really kind of, a lot of people playing that. The reason for that is that it plugged a weakness of the Sky Striker cards being able to not really push out all that much damage. Whereas Trickstar, the pure Trickstar deck has taken a different approach to plug those weaknesses, have been able to deal with, established boards and big monsters with Eater of Millions and Cyber Dragon. So, he's managed to plug his weaknesses, but we're going to see whether he's going to be able to really exploit the weaknesses of the Sky Striker deck in this matchup.
Yeah, I think the big thing about the Trickstar deck is that it's the only one that can afford to play this many hand traps this far in the tournament.
Yeah.
It's loaded 16 into its main deck, 16 hand traps. And the only reason it can do that is because a single Candina, Light Stage, or Terraforming can get the whole engine going alone.
And that's what? You think about something like 7 copies of that between Terraforming, Candina, and the Light Stage.
7 total copies, and then he has a couple Pod Desires. I'm sure Scapegoats is sort of like a starter too, even though it's slow, because you'll just Saryuja, draw into one of those.
Yeah. So if you put all that together, you're probably adding up to 80% or more of having some kind of action on your first turn.
Yep.
Yeah. I think we should emphasize what you said there, Robert. That like just the 1-card engine starters is always going to be amazing.
Yeah.
If you can get to those.
So Trickstar, Sky Striker, together they're great. But now they have to face off against each other to make the finals of the World Championship.
So I think we're going to head on over to the match and see what happens. Any second now. So here we are. Wang Chiaching from Taiwan versus Young Sung Chul from Korea. Now, both of these guys on this huge stage, they got to keep their calm and just play the best they've ever played.
Now, we've seen Jung in action before, have we not?
Yeah, we
He
did.
did quite well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was just like a great Yu-Gi-Oh player should be. Animated at the times where he knew exactly what he was doing, and stoic, really taking his time to think whenever he needed to.
Oh, and it was our first match of the day.
Yeah, it was against Paleozoic. Yeah, we just saw him completely dismantle the strategy thanks to main deck copies of Evenly Match and just having a bunch of back row removal.
So Jing gets to go first, and he starts with some pretty good gas. A light stage into Candina into Reincarnation.
Yeah, that's usually not a good sign. When they're searching Reincarnation, that's likely they already have Lycoris, and they might even have Droll and Lockbird. And against Sky Striker, you know how good Droll and Lockbird is even without Reincarnation. So just the fact that you will always have a chance to combo it off and basically empty Jung's hand.
Yeah, which is never a
Pretty
good
scary.
thing.
Yeah, but luckily, because Jung knows he can probably play around a little bit and set all of his cards first.
Yes.
But that also walks into light stage if he ends up not using all of his resources that turn.
Yeah, that is the trap. Light stage, just being able to, pick off those cards one by one. Fortunately, if it's his own turn and it's stuff like Engage, he can set it and then flip it.
Yeah.
But when you got stuff like Widow Anchor,
Mm-hmm.
you might have to
a little bit
preemptively
worse.
use it, and they chain Lycoris, and then bad things happen.
Yeah. It's really a well-built strategy with the Trickstar deck.
And that's, assuming he gets past whatever pile of hand traps that might be lurking.
You're right, yeah. This is probably the deck that Droll and Lockbird is the best against, Sky Striker.
Yes.
So that's pretty rough that out of all the duelists, we didn't see many copies in the main deck, if at all. And I think that Wang Chiaching is one of the few who has access to that.
Just two?
Yep.
All right, 2 sets finishes off his turn, and now Young is up.
So he almost certainly knows that one of those back row cards is Reincarnation. But the other one could be a mystery, could be anything.
Starts with Twin Twister on
That's
both.
well, that's a pretty good start.
Not bad. Not
Yeah,
bad
one
at
of the
all.
best ways to get around the Reincarnation
Yeah.
Droll and Lockbird combo, that's for sure. And it looks like he discarded a copy of a Hercules base.
It does look like Hercules base. He goes ahead and chains it. The Reincarnation.
Jung responds, I have nothing there.
And he loses
Well-
a copy of Ray.
That's a little rough.
I saw multiple trap cards being drawn by Young there.
And goes and match is gone. And now damage is dealt.
Yeah,
He's
so
going to get you for 2 and light stage for another 2.
yeah, even if you're gonna play through your Sky Striker combos here, Candina and Lycoris are just gonna continue to take away your life points
My goodness.
slowly but surely.
And he put the hand out there. I don't know that that's... Yeah, that was a pass.
Wow.
And on the end phase, Lycoris hits the field. And I don't know if Young is long for this game.
No,
No.
probably not.
An open field against Trickstar is not preferable.
Yeah, when I was talking to the duelist yesterday about the pure Sky Striker deck and the pros and cons to it, the biggest issue a lot of players had with it was its lack of consistency. It just doesn't have as many starter cards as some of these other decks do, specifically Altergeist. So, and I think we just saw this huge glaring weakness with the deck.
Yes.
Getting hit by that Reincarnation, losing at least Ray and maybe another starter card or two, that's
Yeah.
just a little too rough.
And the important thing is that the Trickstars can really assault that weak point and just deal a ton of damage whenever there is one.
So Young got the Ash Blossom to basically keep himself in the game right now, barring more copies of Lycoris. Blocking Candina takes a lot of damage off the board. Now he's still got Reincarnation in the graveyard right there. Young has to, he really has to dig in hard right now.
Yeah.
I don't think he's not playing anything like Scapegoat, is he?
No, he's not. He has a couple main deck copies of Shared Ride sort of in that slot, but no scapegoats. So no big card that can really get him back in it.
I think Young just drew Ghost Bell, which is not going to get him too far.
And he's not running Diablos either, which would be
No.
a card that Trickstar has a very hard time dealing with.
Yeah. He probably didn't expect much other Sky Striker in the tournament, seeing how popular Altergeist and Goki were.
Yeah, so there's one of the trap cards that we saw him draw last turn, which wasn't all that useful, which is evenly matched.
Evenly matched.
It's solid here, but he's still so far behind that
Yeah,
I'm not sure if it's going to be enough.
if my spot was correct and he drew Ghost Bell, then there's not much more to be done this turn than there was last turn.
He might just end up setting it, to be honest. Just walk out.
I do believe it is bigger than Candina.
I
Or
think they're
least
both at
even
18, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And that also causes some more damage off of Candina.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Looks like he's going to set a back row and set a monster.
Yeah.
Not the best position. On Ching's side, he has a Ghost Bell, a Ash Blossom, and it looks like he drew another hand trap.
That looks like a Ghost Bell.
2 copies of Ghost Bell? I saw at least 1 Ghost Bell and 1 Ash before his draw phase.
Okay. And he checks to see his face-up cards to see if he can get kind of a read on what that face-down monster might be.
Yeah, it's a little unfortunate that the monster actually won't be destroyed by battle, because if Jung draws something like Engage, he won't even be able to use it because he has a monster occupying that main zone.
But he kind of has to do it because otherwise he definitely...
Yeah.
Well, you know it's not a copy of Ray because otherwise he would have done something with it.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
So Ching's got to be thinking, well, that has to be one of his hand trap monsters.
Yes. Looks like he's considering, he's going to normal something that maybe he's going to go for Cerberus here. Clear it away and just press for damage.
Interesting. I guess that works really well because he has the reincarnation in his graveyard. And that could just bring Candina back.
Oh, yeah, that's probably just, depending on the back row, right, this could just be game. And oh, no, but Cerberus can't destroy it, right, because it's
he's
not
got to
supposed to
take
summon
the
monster,
back
so he has
row
to,
out
get rid of
with,
Phoenix.
An interesting fact here that Ching has actually only played 1 Sky Striker so far during this tournament. He lost.
Interesting.
I wonder if they played each other.
That could be a case of revenge. So yes, it was the double Ghost Bell. Takes out Twin Twister, attacks, takes out another Ghost Bell, and then banishes Reincarnation. There's Candina. Candina hits. Does he have another Lycoris? I don't think so.
No, I think the last card's still that hand trap. I think it's Ash Blossom.
It's Ash, yeah.
It's just really rough. Even Engage.
Yeah, Engage doesn't get you there. I don't know what gets you there. He's picked up jamming waves.
Yeah.
That certainly doesn't.
No.
He has 3 spells, so he could. Oh, actually, no. That doesn't even do enough.
Target.
Yeah. Can you destroy your own card with jamming waves? The first part.
I would have to check the text on it.
Yeah. I was gonna say maybe he could set his own card and then jamming waves it, but even then, both of those monsters have enough attack to just clear them out.
Yeah. And he still takes damage from using it.
Yeah.
Attacks directly with Candina, and
That's
it.
game 1.
And
So
that's interesting. He flipped the cards and showed them.
Oh, that's...
I don't know that I'd do that.
No. But that means that Trickstar is up 1, so that's very different from what our statistics are showing about this deck.
Yeah, it could just
Only
have
been
been
1 game.
Yeah.
Though.
With 1 game, anything can happen.
Yeah, exactly.
Much greater pool of data before you can draw any meaningful conclusions.
Yeah, absolutely.
But at least from what we've done in the office and just general
opinion
results,
of
not opinion, but what's actually happened
results.
is that Trickstar cards are just really good against Sky Striker cards.
Yeah. They just do about everything you want to do. They're a huge card advantage, huge card advantage engine, and it disrupts you by it gains tempo whenever you search cards because you're taking so much damage, right? So they don't really have to press for game. They can poke, and then during your turn, you're still just burning yourself down. Yeah, so it's pretty rough.
It's just you get to a point where there's a limit to how much you can actually do without losing the game.
Yep. Yeah. We spoke about this before, just before we went live, that just everything that Sky Striker do, it burns them against Trickstar.
Yes.
And
sometimes it would double burn them. Like if you have Candina and Lycoris, and you play Engage, you're getting it from both.
Yep.
And even more, if you have 3 spells, you're going to get that extra 200.
Yep.
So it's really not that easy.
No. So what do you think that Young is going to need here to really help him in this matchup? Has he got anything in his side deck that's going to make all that difference?
I mean, it's pretty rough. What he would want traditionally in this matchup is probably trap cards, right?
Yeah.
Like he'd want Psalms and things like that to stop the Candina chain, because that's the big way you're going to battle this deck.
You have to keep her off the field.
Yeah, or negate it, right? But even if you negate its effect with something like Ash or Effect Veiler, or even try to respond like Ghost Ogre, they can still just Lycoris in response, right? And then
they can't. The effect will be negated, but it would be protected from Ghost Ogre.
Right, which is what matters. Just being able to summon it again and threaten it again. So that's why the Psalms are so good, but he doesn't have access to those.
Okay,
that's a little rough.
Yeah.
I guess does he have the Inspector Border?
Yes, he does. That's a
popular card.
That card
is traditionally good against Trickstars. Won't stop continuous effects, but will stop all the searching and other shenanigans, and none of the trick stars are big enough to beat it.
Yeah.
I don't know that Ching has any removal available to him, other than mind control out of the side. Book of Moon.
It's interesting that we're going over what we said before, just in a different way. That yeah, both of those decks, they're struggling for the things that they're struggling for. You know, the Trickstar deck really doesn't have much control, and the Sky Striker deck are just struggling to not take that much damage or even just get going as soon as possible.
Yeah, the neat thing with Trickstar, it's a very cooperative deck. It is totally okay with letting you do whatever you want.
Yes.
But bad things are going to happen to you when you do.
Yeah. That game would have been very different if Jung had any sort of start, right?
Yes.
Like how he grinded it out and how everything wound up working out. If he had any Ray at several points during that game.
He had a Ray in his opening game.
Right, but it
Got
got reincarnation away,
He had an opportunity at the start of the main phase, though, to actually just play it. So remember, at the start of the main phase, you can take any action common to the main phase.
You're right.
And he did not use that reincarnation in the draw or standby phase. He used it when
He chose to play Twin Twister.
Right, so that might have been a small misstep by Jung.
Yeah.
he could have at least gotten a monster onto the field there.
Yeah.
So we'll see if that situation crops up again.
Yeah, I guess I think it's sort of darned if you do, darned if you don't, right? Because if the other cards, like something like Solemn Warning, I guess there's only a couple cards, though, that would matter there, right? Like just really Solemn Warning, Solemn Judgment.
Yeah, I guess you have to weigh it up. You got to weigh it
right?
up.
And like Solemn Judgment, maybe...
It goes.
No, you probably
graveyard
don't Solemn
still.
Judgment the Twin Twister
Helps.
anyway, though. Excuse me?
You
Oh, yeah,
still
putting it in the graveyard helps, yeah.
So you could get Hornet Drones and eventually get her back. and
Yeah.
start combo.
I mean, but if you have the Hornet Drones anyway, I think it's just getting the monster on the field that matters, right?
Yeah.
So like the Hornet Drones is going to do that alone.
Yeah.
But you're right that he
Interesting.
might have messed up a little. I don't know. It's rough either way.
It's a hard choice. I do think he's going to be on the Inspector borders for this time around. I think since he's going to go first, obviously, that's probably where he's going.
Yeah.
To try to get a little payback.
Oh yeah, Book of Moon doesn't even out, right? Because he can just respond with Ray's effect actually. So it's really just Solemn Warning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Solemn Judgment, I guess.
it wasn't necessarily like a correct one there. There wasn't a correct decision to do it or not. I think it was like a decision that he chose to make. But with perfect information, you would be able to work out the percentage chance of it being good to summon her first or not. I think that's the thing.
You have a lot of information there, though. Like, reincarnation is there, and you get one play unfettered by it if you get to the main phase.
Yeah, yeah. I think it was a small misstep, a very, very small one, but it looked like it.
Yeah,
it's unfortunate.
Yeah, I guess that my natural reaction when I see a Twin Twisters and 2 back rows is like, yeah, I get to gun for these 2 back rows straight away, and then I get to do everything else unimpeded. That's
I think
that's your logic.
that's exactly what happened.
in
He
your
fell into
head.
that trap.
Yeah.
Pulled the trigger a little too soon.
It's the knowledge of the reincarnation, I think, that really gets you there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, if you'd been able to reel that in a bit of the being able to really play Twin Twisters to its full effect and think, hold on, this is going to go bad in the way that I do this, then yeah, he could have potentially summoned Ray first.
Well, it looks like they have made their decisions, at least, as pertaining to side decking. They're going to finish up shuffling, but we'll get to that a little shortly. So Ching is going second, most likely, in this game. You think he might put the extra Cyber Dragon in? Extra Cyber Dragon, maybe the Heavy Storm Dusters get extra spell and trap removal?
Yeah, Heavy Storm Duster is definitely great. Shared Ride's definitely great. Mind Control seems good. Same thing with like Evenly Matched. He has a lot of cards for this matchup, actually. Yeah, I don't even need to list them all. He could side in over half of his side deck and probably just be in a better spot than he is now, even though right now he's still great.
And you're saying that he lost to Sky Striker earlier in the event?
Yeah.
Do we know
just
who
one.
it was who he played? Maybe
No,
it was one of the
I could find out.
Diablos
It would take me a bit
players.
of time, but yeah, it's just one. Do you think Young's gonna go first here? I think he's gonna go first.
I think he's
Just
going
thought I
for
would ask.
Inspector Borders and just try to get that on the field early on.
Yeah, and he's got you said he had an extra few trap cards as well. In there.
Extra. Oh, Young?
Yeah.
No,
No.
he
Okay.
was not.
Just for that Inspector border then.
He's got Typhoon. I mean, that's a trap card. He could theoretically put in even more spell and trap removal.
Yeah, good for light stage.
Should get light stage out of the way.
Yeah.
It's not that bad, but it's not that good either.
No.
It might be better than Evenly Matched, though. Cards like that. He's just going to be looking at the cards that are suboptimal in his main deck and probably swapping those out because there's no ideal cards in his side deck.
Yeah.
So it's a case of any incremental advantage you can get.
Yeah,
is good.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not going to put in the cards that are going to be great blowouts, but just really optimize as much as he can.
And it looks like we've seen something of a surprise here. Either Young passed his first turn, or he let Ching go first.
And yeah, in Young's hand, I see 4 spells and then Ghost Ogre but I don't know what the 4 spells are.
Interesting. Very interesting there. I wonder. So he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, Ching has. Yeah, he let Ching go first.
Yeah,
Because it's light stage and 4 other cards is what his start was.
Maybe his plan is just hopefully evenly match him.
I don't know that he would fall for that, especially after seeing that in the first game.
Yeah, I'm just unsure why else he would. Maybe this is how he thinks he can grind out the Trickstar deck.
Yeah.
With cards like, you know, Jamming Waves, Afterburner, stuff like that. Plays a couple spells, then starts getting the +1 effects off of them.
Mm-hmm. That would make sense.
I think we're all a little shocked about that. Bit. Maybe he didn't put the Inspector borders in then.
Or maybe he's just going hard on the evenly matched.
Yeah.
And Ching's playing it right into it.
Yeah, well, he doesn't have the evenly matched, not from what I could see. There's a lot of green in his hand.
Is that a Twin Twister in there somewhere?
Yeah, looks like it.
Yeah, there was Jamming Waves, Afterburner. Yeah, can't see the rest.
It kind of looks like Ching's playing directly into what Young wants him to do.
Start with Afterburners. It looks like he's just going to try to start bending some spells so that his engages and stuff get to draw him extra cards.
Thing is, though, this Trickstar deck, just as we were talking about, the Candina's back in the safe place. She's in the hand. She's ready to, you know, be played next turn.
Yeah, I just don't think Jamming Waves is that good. Or I don't think Afterburners is that good in this matchup, and I think that's part of the issue. It's only going to be better in the later stage of the game, and you'd rather draw 1 card off of Engage than destroy an extra card off of Afterburners.
And he loses Heavy Storm Duster there to the Jamming Waves.
That's big.
Sets a card and says... Does not say go. Activates multi-roll. Okay.
Does Ching have something for this?
Yeah, the second Heavy Storm Duster would be devastating. That's very fortunate if you manage to hit the only one there. But he goes ahead and flips Gozen Match. So a bit of good fortune for Jung, as he does have Twin Twister to take out everything else.
Yeah, but a second copy of Heavy Storm Duster here would just...
that would be a complete blowout, yeah.
But
his last card is Engage.
Oh. Ash Blossom!
Wow!
Oh my goodness!
And we're right down to the Candina. That's all that's left.
I guess you can play directly into everything your opponent wants to do if you have all the answers.
Yeah.
Wow.
My goodness.
That was
incredible.
Yeah.
My
wow.
Goodness. And I think Jung can't believe it.
Yeah.
Let's be honest, though, Ching had a lot of different things that those back rows could have been, and to like, you know, that could have been Heavy Storm Duster, but he had the Ash that was needed for the engage.
It's rough because you feel good when you hit the Heavy Storm Duster.
Yeah.
Like that's what you were looking for.
And it just didn't matter in the end. So now Young's left with just multi-roll, and Ching's got a Candina and the rest.
And a light stage. Whatever he gets back doesn't matter.
That's rough.
I don't see any way he gets out of this.
He just passes. Oh, wow. That is rough. Now we see why this Trickstar deck has been doing really well, though.
They're good cards.
Yeah.
They are certainly good cards. And now Ching is doing the math to see if he can finish him off right now.
Yeah. Why wait till later when you can win now?
Yep, and that reincarnation really helps.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's what actually will allow it.
Yeah.
As he still has Lilybell in the deck. So he could normal summon Candina, get Lilybell, special summon Lilybell, make a link summon with Lilybell and probably Lycoris.
Yeah.
And then after attacking with everything, he Trickstar reincarnations back the Lilybell, attacks to get back the Lycoris, and special summons the Lycoris and attacks again.
Yeah, that's a lot of damage. And with Light Stage, adding an extra 200 to all of them.
Yes. Especially so if the monster he picks is Holly Angel.
Yes.
So he would also get an extra 400 damage off of summoning back with, well, both summoning back with Trickstar reincarnation and summoning Lycoris.
Yeah.
I do think he has it as long as he sees the play.
Yeah, well, he's doing well so far. He's got that Lilybell.
Lilybell attacks directly, gets you a Trickstar monster back from the graveyard when she connects.
Blue Angel will be proud of this one.
It's those Submarine Roid type cards. Like I heard the Duel Links guys talking quite a bit about Submarine Roid for game.
Yeah. Yeah, that was really interesting.
Yeah, that's kind of what Lilybell is. She's a Submarine Roid that special summons from your hand and, has upside.
Yeah.
She's a really good monster.
That matchup in Duel Links is actually really interesting because the only reason they're playing Submarine Roid is to fulfill the legendary deck requirements of Cyrus Truesdale.
For the Roids?
Yes. It's not actually part of the deck. It doesn't work with the rest of the cards, really.
Crazy
Well,
thing
it works
Roids.
with Ties of the Brethren.
Yes.
Like, that's the big reason to play that deck.
Machines,
Yeah.
those machines. Like, the thing is, the Roids aren't bad cards.
No.
The Roids have
No.
a lot of really good cards.
Yeah. In fact, Drill Roid was meta at one point, a long time ago.
It was indeed. I remember Kevin was telling me at one point about how back in the old days they had a GX character league in the office when, this was long before I started working on Yu-Gi-Oh! I was still judging and playing back then. And we see Holly Angel there. I think he does see the play. But everybody else picked Cyber Dragon, and he picked Roids and just destroyed everybody.
So as we said, Ching with this play, doing the 400 damage, the 200 damage. I mean, he's just communicating the math here. I think he's already done.
And you don't attack with Holly Angel quite yet because
No.
she's gaining attack points each
Yes,
time.
exactly. From the Lilybell and then hopefully from the Lycoris as well.
And we see he's making note of how many 200s it's gained. So it's 200 for each Trickstar monster that's special summoned to his own points to. Does that much damage, and whenever Trickstar monster inflicts effect damage, not battle damage, effect damage, she then gains that much attack. And that includes herself. So they're working that right now. You see he's got the 400 deducted.
Yeah. So this is the situation I was talking about yesterday with the translators, where we've got to go from Korean to Japanese to English to Mandarin, and then all the way back through again.
And Young does not have a hand, correct? There's no,
No,
nothing.
there's nothing.
Goes
Yeah,
over,
this-
nothing
this
like that. It's just over.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's just doing his due diligence.
Right.
Yeah. But this is the players have made it this far. They deserve to make sure that this is definitely enough.
Yeah. If there's any chance that it's not, you want to
know
Make
about it.
sure.
Yeah. This is the time to know about it.
All right, and it seems that we are good on that. And the Holly Angel it's mandatory. Like, you have to activate it every time it happens. So there's no way to miss it. There's no,
Yeah.
oh, you didn't declare this. There's nothing like that. And she's just going to keep getting bigger.
Yeah, that's the beauty with Trickstars. There's not a lot to miss. A lot of them are all continuous or mandatory triggers.
So Lilybell hits for 800. Light Stage adds an extra 200 onto that for 1,000. Because she did battle damage, Trickstar Lycoris returns to Ching's hand. Then, Candina hits for 1,800, and 200 is added onto that by Light Stage. So 2,000 there is 46 left. And next, we get a special summon. So Lycoris is special summoned, and Lilybell is returned to the hand. That's another 400 damage.
And Holy Angel's effect triggers once more.
Should be 4,200. So then Lycoris hits for 16, plus another 200 from Light Stage is 1,800 added on.
I think Ching's doing really well to keep his composure here because I think he knows he's got it.
1,800 off of 42. Well, that's 2,400. And it just so happens that that is exactly what Trickstar Holly Angel's attack is right now. And with those extra 2,400 attack points intact, that is exactly what Ching needs to take a win.
Yep, Jung extends the hand, and that's it.
So Ching Wang Chia from Taiwan
Taiwan.
is going to go to the World Championship Finals.
Yeah, and that was a heck of a match. That's kind of how
Yeah.
you expect that to play out.
Yeah.
After you've played the match a lot. So I was a little like when you said, "Oh, he lost to it before."
Yeah.
And the tournament's like, really? It seems so far in favor for him.
Yeah, exactly. But as you said, with a small pool of matches, so that 0% win rate's going
Yeah.
to shoot right up to 50 now.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, there we go. we've got our first finalist.
So we, I don't believe we have information yet on our other semifinal.
No, not yet.
But we can tell you a little bit about what that match is. That is Bodan Temnik from Australia with Altergeist against Francesco Simoncelli from Italy on Goki.
Yep.
And in general, one of the reasons you play Altergeist is because it's got a good Goki matchup.
Yeah.
So if we were to just predict without actually seeing the game what would happen, I would think that Bodan and his Altergeist deck would win. But Goki's a very explosive deck. There's a lot of things that can happen and go wrong when you're playing against Goki. So it's anybody's game, really.
Yeah, it's really rough. I'm more interested. I would be very interested to see the finals of Altergeist against Trickstar, just because how both decks are built. They definitely have some interesting interactions. Like we saw yesterday, Bone Time played Mind Crush.
Yes.
Right? And that seems like a great card against Trickstar. One of the few ways you can start the whole Candina chain. Yeah, I'm really excited to find out who won on the other side of the bracket.
So far in the World Championships, we've had 19 games between Altergeist and Goki.
Yes.
And the matchup is 68% favored to the Altergeist player. That's pretty big.
Yeah, that's
almost 70% chance of the Altergeist player winning.
That's really big. That's abnormally big.
That's huge, yeah.
Yes.
You'd expect it to be
that's
more
a decent
60-40?
Yeah, exactly. And that's a decent number of games as well.
It is.
So that's important.
Yeah. I think it has a lot to do with just all these Altergeist decks are built to target Goki.
Yes.
Right, that's it. They're all playing a ton of hand traps, just like we saw in the Trickstar deck or the Sky Striker deck. They're all teched out to beat Goki. Goki had the biggest target on its head this weekend, with Altergeist maybe coming in second in that people were hedging against it with cards like Unending Nightmare, Twin Twisters, Evenly Matched, etc. Yeah. So it's going to be rough.
The thing that I think might be rough for Jing if he comes up against Bodan is a lot of these hand trap monsters aren't very good against Altergeist.
Yeah, that's a big game.
Droll and Lockbird in particular, not great. Ghost Ogre's pretty good. There are some things you can hit there.
Yeah, Ash is fine.
Ash is fine.
Ash is probably the best one, actually.
I think that's going to be phenomenal finals if we see
and
those.
If we get that.
It's going to be pure skill to be able to play your deck in a completely different way to how you kind of built it in the first place. That's going to be a real good one to watch.
So coming up later today, we're going to have the third and fourth place match for the All Ages event, and that's probably when we're going to find out, who the winner of the other one was. Because whoever it is not will be playing in our next match against. The name escaped me for a second there. Our Sky Striker player.
Oh,
in this duel, Young. Yes.
Yeah. Interestingly, so to extrapolate further about that match that we're wondering about, so the Altergeist match against Pure Trickstars is a 0% win rate.
Interesting.
And there's been 2 matches so far. So, yeah, Ching has played against 2 Altergeist players and won both.
That does correlate with generally how it goes in the regular TCG format.
Yeah.
Between Trickstars or Trickstar Sky Striker and Altergeist. That's kind of why Altergeist wasn't really a player, especially in the World Championship qualifiers this year. So we'll see if that happens, if it happens. But I would not count Simoncelli out. I would never count Goki out. As long as it's in the tournament, it can still just devastate you when you're least expecting it.
Yeah. Right, well, so that's it for the semifinals. Stick around, because we're going to be right back with more action from the World Championships here in Japan. Hello and welcome back to the Yu-Gi-Oh! World Championships 2018 here in Japan. I'm joined with Jerome McHale and Robert Boyajin, and we're here for the third and fourth playoff match.
So, you know, in the Olympics, there's only room on the podium for 3.
Yes.
Any lower than that, no medal for you. And that is very much the case here at the World Championship as well.
Yep.
You're not taking any hardware home if you don't win this match right here. So this obviously means that we have our result from the Bodan Temnik and Francesco match from before.
Indeed.
And the winner was indeed Bodan and his Altergeist deck. So the finals for later are set. It's Trick Stars versus Altergeist. You got the Blue Angel and Ghost Girl decks.
Yeah, no,
I don't think they played each other in the TV series, so it's interesting to see how that's going to shape up. But for right now, we've got Goki versus Sky Striker, our remaining 2.
Yep. So in terms of the win rate of that matchup, so Goki overall has been sat at 48% win rate, but against Sky Striker, it's favored.
It is.
Yeah,
Favorite for Goki.
66% Goki.
That's interesting.
I think he might have a little more trouble with this particular Sky Striker deck than the others,
Yeah.
thanks to those main deck evenly matched.
Yeah, in addition to all the hand traps. The one thing that we've been I've been boasting about Junk's deck is also the main deck Twin Twisters, which this matchup they
This is
gonna
where
fall
they're not
very
so
short.
good.
But he can at least use them to fill his graveyard with more spell cards if he really wants. Like for example, if he draws double Twin Twisters, he can go like play engage, chain Twin Twisters, discard a spell,
Yeah,
destroy his own cards, at least get 3 spells in the grave to trigger it.
And it's good for, you can at least blow up your own area 0 with it.
Yeah,
You
stuff
get
like
to
that.
Ray.
Yep.
And we saw in that last match getting the Ray was an issue.
Yeah.
So it could be helpful here. It's one of those things that's, it's not really something you want to have to do, blowing up your own stuff, but it's one of those things that to pilot one of these decks, you have to know it.
Yeah.
And that's preparation, is knowing all the things that you can possibly do. And, just trying to think of situations where they might be useful.
Yeah, sometimes it is the
correct.
correct move to do that, and it's the ability to be calm and identify that this, which looks on the surface to be some kind of suboptimal move, is actually the right path.
Yeah, for that reason, exactly, in the OCG, they started playing Mystical Space Typhon for a long
Yes.
time, the pure Sky Striker deck, because it's a better way to just trigger your own area 0.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's a lot of weird things can happen in a duel. And
Yeah.
that's how things like, Magical Midbreaker Field
Yeah.
coming up, for instance. Like, nobody ever played with that card, but now that you need to protect your own monsters from infinite permanence and Ghost Ogre and that sort of thing, all of a sudden, oh, let's grab this card from years ago
Yeah.
and start playing it again.
Yeah. That card was definitely a sleeper. That one's so powerful, too. Like, stopping your opponent from interacting at all from their hand, basically, except for a few key cards.
Yes.
Big deal.
A lot of stuff. There's basically stuff to mess with draws, because you can't destroy, you can't target. Breaker?
Yeah. Can't target or destroy. So things like Drone Lockbird work, Ghost Reaper works, Ash Blossom, right? That works, but yeah, like no Ghost Ogre, no Effect Veiler, no Infinite Impermanence, which are some of the biggest ones.
Yeah.
So it's pretty rough. You
So
can Gamma
speaking
as well,
of,
right?
Yeah, Gamma, because
Yeah.
it destroys. Speaking of Midbreaker Field, the only Goki duelist left who was playing Midbreaker Field, as far as I know, is Charlie Futch, who was a winner in his semifinal over on the Dragon Duel side, and he's side decking copies of that card. And his opponent for the finals later today will be Kai Hedinger of Germany.
Yeah, I actually have a cool story about what happened in Kai's match. He finished the match off with a Spell Striker.
Spell Striker, the level 3 guy from the video game.
600 attack monster.
Yeah.
That card fills a lot of roles, I guess. It's level 3. That's a warrior too, right? You can reinforcement the armory for it. Yep. So
Rhoda for it and then banish the Rhoda.
Yeah, it's a little rough because you need to play spells, but I guess if you're playing, is he playing the Sky Striker engine as well, or maybe?
No, he's not.
Oh, okay, yeah. It would be interesting with the Sky Striker cards, right? Because you can easily fill your graveyard with spells, even though it seems counterintuitive that you want to banish them if you're also playing Sky Striker cards.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think the one issue with that card is it might be a little hard to meet the condition every game, but when you do, it's great.
Well, I mean, you always have rematch, right?
Yeah, but that usually it's starting your combo that's the issue, right?
Is
Not
it?
extending it.
I thought this was being used more as an extender.
Oh, that could be true. I don't know. Oh, he also, yeah.
He's just got the 1. I think he'd want more if he was going to use it as a starter.
I guess that could be true. I guess it could be just a value reinforcement of the army target. That's what it probably is, and that makes a lot of sense, because every single time you draw the Rhoda, you'll for sure have the card in the graveyard.
Right.
That makes sense.
We have 2 different Goki decks coming up here. There's Charlie's is very standard. Like, there's not really a whole lot there that you haven't seen before.
Yeah.
But Kai's is very interesting with the Spell Striker.
Yeah.
Apparently-
Standard isn't always bad, though, right? Standard's consistent. What were you saying?
He actually managed to tag somebody in time with it. That's how he.
Oh, the
got
Spell Striker?
Yeah.
Is that how you won it?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
All right. Looks like our 3rd, 4th duelists are ready to begin. Dice are being rolled as we speak. And we'll see who gets to start to duel.
All right, well, after a swift exit from the semifinals, Jung is now playing for pride and a trophy against Francesco Simoncelli.
Francesco obviously was very kind of emotional after the previous match, so hoping he's been able to compose himself just like every duelist needs to do.
Yeah, Jung was very, very calm throughout his top 4 match, although it felt very one-sided the majority of the game.
Yeah.
He probably knew how that was going to go most of the time, so like how much can he expect?
And Francesco's just, he's got that grin on his face, the not good grin.
Yeah. It's not a good
That's
grin.
Set monster. Oh, he's one of the few players in the tournament who's still playing an autonomous action unit. I can see it in his opening hand. Yeah, it looks like he might. Oh, no. I thought he was just going to set a card, but normal summon Risk Scorpio.
Does he have another Goku to discard for, no, I guess he
I don't think so.
headbat there.
He's just going to pass. Wow.
That is not what you want to see going first as a Goki duelist.
Young only has hand traps in terms of monsters, though.
Yeah, we had that issue last time around, not being able to get to Ray or any of the Link monsters.
Yeah.
Francesco's grin went from upset grin to relieved and also partially excited grin.
Yeah, while both these duels definitely want to win to get that trophy, you can tell it's a little bit of a lighter mood than it was in top 4.
Yes.
Spell card comes down next. It's Instant Fusion.
Yeah. A Dragon Knight in a can.
Yeah, let's see if he pulls out the Dragoness or actually invoked Raijin.
Oh, he's playing Raijin?
Oh.
No, I'm not sure which. It is Dragoness, yeah. But we've seen both in the deck lists.
Yeah, true.
But he is playing Dragoness.
Yeah. I do wonder how they fit in the can.
I don't know.
I guess that's what the 1,000 life points is for.
Yeah, it's paid in
think it's
blood
just-
somehow.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm sure it's just freeze-dried compressed magic.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Oh, makes sense. There's Isolate.
Yeah, shared ride in response to the Isolde.
I think that's the first time I've seen it on stream.
Yeah, me as well. But Imperial, yeah.
Oh,
Simoncelli's hand, that's probably why he had the half grid.
Oh,
Scorpio,
goodness.
Imperial Order probably gets you there against Sky Strike.
Yeah.
Like, that's not that bad at all.
Yeah.
So Sure Ride would have allowed Jung to draw a card for every card that Simoncelli adds to his hand, but now it's doing no such thing.
I love Shared Ride. All of those cards that are all kind of like tour guide, underworld related are just hilarious.
Sangin's little trip.
Yeah.
Like mistake, and arrest.
Mistake and arrest. Yeah, they're all really funny. Mistake's my favorite. The one where there's like a monster being dragged onto the forbidden bus. And he's like, no, I'm not supposed to be forbidden. Yeah, it's really funny. What's the one? What's the trap one? There's a trap one where you see Relinquished and.
Oh, it's the one
so
that's like
waving.
a security door
Yeah,
thing?
it's a security
it's
door.
not Relinquished, it's Thousand Eyes Restrict.
Thousand Eyes Restrict, sorry, yeah.
Yeah, I forget which one it is, but I know the artwork.
You know the one.
Yeah.
Because there's a monster waving a tissue or something, isn't there? From behind the security door.
Oh, so Imperial Order costs you 700 life points during each standby phase and negates all spell effects while it's on the field. Unfortunately for Jung, that's basically his deck. It's mostly spells.
Yeah. So what can Young do here to get rid of that Imperial Order?
He
Now that it's
basically has to convince Simoncelli to banish it with a evenly matched. Because all of his other removal is spell-based. And it's not an activated effect to pay life points, it's just a maintenance cost that you have to do every standby phase. So something like Ghost Ogre can't get rid of it. That said, he could at least keep Simoncelli off of what he's trying to do with that Effect Veiler.
Yeah. Effect Veil, one of the cards to this day that I believe changed the game.
Yeah, the introduction of hand traps in general, the powerful ones such as Effect Veiler Maxi, as soon as we entered around 2011, we saw those cards becoming mainstays.
So it's interesting. You might think that that's a gameplay design choice to have cards like that in the game, but it's actually from the anime.
That's awesome.
It was from Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds. There was a storyline where Yusei goes back to this Wild West town and finds Callan Kessler, the Infernity duelist, and he eventually faces off against the boss of the mining town in a mine. And the guy's strategy is to play this monster that lets you just send all of your spell and trap cards to the graveyard to do burn damage. He would just beat people on the first turn by playing this monster, set 5, send them all for 800 each, and beat you. And he tries it against Yusei, and Yusei's got Effect Veiler.
Oh, that's awesome.
And gets him. Still, Suprex into another Goki. Not bad.
Yeah, He can just beat down with this Imperial Order. He doesn't have to do too much more.
Mm-hmm.
Like, as long as he puts Jung on a faster clock than he's on for Imperial Order, it should be a pretty easy game.
And it's by a sizable factor here.
Yeah. As long as he doesn't commit too much to the board and maybe get blown out by an evenly match, because all he has to do is really keep up that Imperial Order and just have another monster summon the following turn.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is also one reason why the Trickstar variant of this Sky Striker deck tends to have a little bit more game against stuff like Imperial Order and Anti-Spell, because a single Candina can get you Lily Bell, and that's just any Nightmare monster. So Phoenix can blow up these cards, and then you can start going at it. Or you just change your game plan completely and just start beating down with Candina and Lycoris.
It's actually kind of amazing how much damage you can put out with just the monsters.
Yeah. I remember in, I think it was the top 4 of the NAWCQ, we saw someone basically get OTK'd by Candina into double Lycoris into double Reincarnation.
Oh.
Yeah.
Ouch.
It was really rough.
Ouch, ouch, ouch. And Jung's taking a little bit of pain here as well, as the Gokis attack directly. And that's a headbat there, I believe.
Yep.
You should never underestimate just how much damage modern-day decks can put on the board so quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, whether it be animal wrestlers or fairy pop idols.
Yes. Both of them are pretty strong.
There was an idol concert next door over at the Zozo Aquarium arena. Just last night, actually tonight as well. It's going to be going on during the finals.
That's awesome. Yeah, I remember seeing the fireworks last night, and then the aftermath of once the concert let out, every single store, restaurant nearby was immediately filled with around 40 people.
Yes.
Yep.
We do hope you'll stay with us, though,
Yeah.
during
Yeah.
the finals.
Not the Pop Idol concert. Well, it could be. They both could involve Pop Idols.
In fact, they will, because we got a Trickstar in the final.
I think we're getting a translation or something.
Yeah, on headbat it looks like.
Still working on headbat. So while they're doing that, let's get you the text of Goki headbat as well. It's in your hand. You can send another Goki monster from your hand to the graveyard and target a Goki monster you control. Special summon this card in defense, and if you do, the target monster gains 800 attack until the end of the turn. Card sent to the graveyard from the field. You can add a Goki card from your deck to your hand except headbat. You can only use each effect once per turn. So I saw a... was that a die that he had on the Suprex?
It seemed like for a minute there.
Yeah.
Yes. I do wonder what that is about, because there shouldn't be any real modifications to Suprex in this turn.
Maybe that's what the ruling clarification was for, at least the translation.
Yeah, it was whether or not you get the plus 800 from headbat, if you just regularly special summon it. You do not, and that does save some life points.
Yeah, so although Young is playing Sky Striker, which we've said already struggles for damage, that Imperial Order is going to start doing a bit of a number on Francesco's life points if Young can stick around long enough.
Yeah, he really needs, he's got to get evenly matched. Like, that's the way into this game.
Yeah.
Banishes 2 to add Divine Sword back to his hand. And that's okay. I don't think we're getting any equipped Phoenix Sword beatdown, though, since it's not even going to give you that plus 300. He's considering what to link summon here.
I think he's trying to figure out how much he can do without being able to use rematch.
And that is true. Rematch, such a key card for here.
Yeah. It's very important in the combo.
Nightmare Goblin is the choice, and he does indeed activate its effect. This is a bit of a non-standard situation, so it stands to reason that there's a different line of play.
Usually you would just rematch and then go from there.
Now, it's only the search effects of Gokis that are once per turn, so he could get a Suprex with the headbat and then get another big Goki, or any other Goki really, with the Suprex,
and then
use the extra normal summon for both. And you see he's got Octostretch.
Yeah, that means that he then has access to Firewall Dragon, right, with the Isol and the 2 Gokis?
Yes.
And then with Goblin play, he can link it away for Mermaid, and then he has that Firewall Dragon, the first important trigger, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and then from there, the world's probably his oyster. I think he could easily end with Tri-Gate Wizard up and Imperial Order, most likely, which seems like enough to do it.
That does seem like the smart thing, though. Like, he probably knows that Jung main deck's evenly matched. I don't think that this escaped the eyes of the players throughout the tournament, so that seems like the wise choice here.
He doesn't need to full extra link either.
No.
I think just Tri-Gate Imperial Order is enough.
I agree.
Looks like he chose to just use the additional normal summon on Octastretch. He's going to link it away for Link Karibo. Trigger the effect of Octastretch. For Twist Cobra.
Interesting. Maybe he's just trying to wall up against attacks? I'm a little unclear. I definitely think that the Tri-Gate Wizard is the right thing to go for here.
Yeah, just in case of that evenly matched.
Yeah, maybe I'm missing something in that he couldn't do the full combo, but I feel like he probably could have.
He might run out of searches. I thought I saw another, like a bear hug in his hand. But was that could have been what he added with Isolde earlier. But yeah, the effect failure was used on the second effect, not the first. So he did get an add, and he can't play that monster this turn. So it could just be that he doesn't have enough gas.
Yeah, I guess after he... Well, he has Ibu in play. Oh, but he already uses his extra normal summon on Super X, so he can't resummon the Ibly.
Yeah.
That probably does it, actually. And then he can't get a... Yeah, he's actually probably one material shy, I think. Because he could summon like a Link Karibo on one side, but that just wouldn't matter because he already has Mermaid at the top. So he needs something to point either left or right. So he can do one, and then he'll have one extra material, but he can't do the last one, I think.
There is such a card, but I think its materials are a Cyberse Link monster, and it can't be used as Link material.
Well,
Those two
Link
are...
Karibo is a Cyberse Link monster, but I don't think that they're playing that guy.
Nope. So he uses Link Karibo and Isolde to make Nightmare Phoenix. He's got protection from battle, protection from targeting, and spells are being negated right now by Imperial Order.
And the card that Young drew didn't look like a trap, but it's hard to see.
And he sets a monster face down. And some back row cards. And I guess he's just defending. It's probably another one of those, you know, set my hand trap, go situations.
Yep.
As I said before, Francesco is ticking away with this Imperial Order. If Young can hold out long enough, that's going to be a large number of turns, though.
It's going to be tough with Suprex still in hand.
Yep.
And there he is. He brings down. Gets negated by Infinite Impermanence, and it's in the same column as Imperial Order, so that'll be turned off for the turn. Very interesting.
Yeah.
Still, with a monster in the main monster zone, he still can't play any Sky Striker cards.
That's interesting.
Yeah,
that
now Simon Charlie can also just play rematch.
Yeah, that's interesting that he chose to negate the Imperial Order with Impermanence.
I think he was hoping that the Impermanence wouldn't need to be flipped for a turn.
Oh, well, that's going to help.
That he can Impermanence during his own turn.
Yeah, that shared ride, though, is going to help. As long as he can stay alive.
Yeah, let's see if he has Ghost Spell here. Yep.
He does.
Ghost Spell for rematch. Does he have a second rematch?
No, I think he's just got Autonomous Action Unit. Yeah, it's Autonomous Action Unit, Junk forward, and then 2 Gokis.
So Unicorn was used on the face down, which was shared ride. Retrieves Divine Sword Phoenix Blade.
That gets
1,500 life points is the cost on Autonomous Action Unit, right? It's cost 15?
1,500.
Yeah, 1,500. Young got a card there from shared ride. Looks like Francesco is going to play the autonomous action unit. This is going to reduce his life points quite a lot.
That's old school. Like Magician's Force, old
Yeah.
school. And Jughouse Reader's like, really? Okay.
What a card.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever wound up with that card in a deck. Like, I've looked at
Really?
it quite
Really?
a lot, and I've been like, I'm certain that there's something that can use this, but I've never felt a need to dedicate a card slot on it.
I remember at 2 instances I had that card in my side deck.
Yeah?
And it had a lot to do with Rescue Cat.
Mm.
Yeah. That,
Okay.
that was a very, very powerful thing to do.
Wasn't it dabbled with the zoo as well?
It could have been, but I think that by then there might have just been better cards. There's a
Yeah,
Wiseman's
yeah.
Chalice.
That was Wiseman's Chalice, that was Shuffle Reborn.
Yeah.
Reborn as well, yeah. I think during that era where people were figuring out that Shuffle Reborn was the best autonomous action unit was tried at the same time.
That could have been it.
There's definitely been times where I've thought about putting autonomous action unit in a deck, though.
Firewall Dragon is here, and actually together that's 3,800 damage if he bounces. Sends Nightmare Goblin to the graveyard to get Nightmare Mermaid. Activates both effects. There's a special summon from hand, that's the Bear Hug. Special summon from deck is Nibbly. And then he'll shuffle up and get a draw.
Things are looking pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Simoncelli after that Imperial Order.
Bear Hug down to 1,400 attack points. It's not co-linked. But I get the feeling it might not be long for the field.
I guess the one card he sort of has to worry about, I guess, is Ghost Ogre, right? On the Firewall if he chooses to bounce with it. But even then, it's not like he's very far behind.
Yeah, like he would still get the bounce out of it even.
Yeah.
And there he's got Nightmare Cerberus, so he doesn't have to worry about the Ghost Ogre either. Co-link monsters can't be destroyed by card effects anymore.
There you go. That plays around the Ghost Ogre.
Bounces it.
Yeah. Jung.
I wonder if it is Ghost Ogre. Getting that bounced. And goes to battle. Attack, 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 attack.
Yeah.
And that does it for game one.
So, Francesco Simoncelli up one game here in our third placement match.
Yeah. When I looked at these deck lists, I thought it was going to be heavily favored in Jung's case.
Yep.
And then I saw the Imperial Order, and I was like, I guess that's one way he could win.
Yeah, you know, you hit the 15% or whatever
Yeah.
from time to time, and it's just ouch when it happens.
Yeah,
And
big ouch.
it just hasn't been Jung's day, though.
Yeah.
Like, that's exactly how his morning has gone so far.
Yeah.
Is whatever the one last thing is, it's there.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't summon a monster again, right?
That's true. But at least this time he didn't have one, other than the hand trap monsters.
I don't think that's going to make him feel any better about
No,
the draw.
no, it's not. No, it's not.
Yeah, he's,
However,
not looking so
yeah.
happy while side decking here, I'm going to say.
Yeah, he does get a chance to get the Twin Twisters out.
Yeah. He'll definitely make some upgrades. He has more answers to go. He needs more cards going first, though.
Mm-hmm. So he's
like
got the
cards
borders.
like Wing Dragon Raw, Sphere Mode, for example, probably not the best. Yeah, he does have Inspector Border. He could try Positive Quiz in this if he's just trying to like take out cards for things that might matter more.
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
once again, like not the strongest card.
No, not really. I kind of think the only swap I might make is the Twisters.
Yeah.
Like Twisters for the borders.
Mm.
I can see
Maybe
that.
Retaliating Sea. If there's a hand trap that isn't as good
Yeah.
in the matchup here.
Yeah. I guess Shared Right's fine going first,
Mm,
so he could probably keep
Yeah.
that in.
mhm.
Maybe, well, we saw him just choose to go second, though. Maybe he's just going to side in the Sphere Modes and just choose to go second again.
That's also possible.
I don't think it's that bad, honestly. He has so many ways to deal with his opponent going first. That game, his opponent didn't really do much in the first place, but then Imperial Order plus just not having any way to start
Yeah.
was
I think Imperial Order really was
really
the
rough.
deciding factor in that game.
And you can't really plan for that.
No,
Yeah.
It's a limited card, one per deck. Sometimes it just shows up.
yeah, happens. But when players decide to play a limited card, then every now and again they're hoping it comes up in that correct situation.
You're drawing it because you want to get it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It looks like they have decided at least what they are going to do.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, at least Simoncelli has. I think Jung might be still.
Do you think
on
he's
the line
struggling
a
with
little
the first or second decision? 'Cause that's
Yeah,
basically his
possibly.
side decking plan. Is
Yeah,
you know,
it looked
pick
like he
one.
put in about like 6 to 8 cards though. It seems
Maybe?
substantial. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like at least, it looked like at least 2 play sets of something.
Mm.
So I'm unsure.
So if we'd be going second, it'd be Retaliating Sea and Sphere Mode, right?
Yeah, you assume so.
So in that case, you know, if you put in 2 play sets of something, I guess he would be going second again.
Yeah.
Sticking with that plan.
Yeah, you could easily take out full set of Twin Twisters, a couple shared rides, and just one more card.
Yeah.
Not sure what though.
Oh,
I mean, it could just really be anything. He could just slim on any of the Sky Striker cards, to be honest.
Do you need
Yeah.
Hercules base?
Probably not in this matchup, no. Yeah.
Not really.
Yeah, Hercules base is definitely for those like long drawn out games, right, where you need to shuffle back your resources. Yeah. Shark Cannon's fine, right?
You think Young was expecting to play against more Sky Strikers that were going to help him, you know, use that Hercules base to his own advantage?
I think he probably expected to play against decks like slower decks like Altergeist. Any deck where it's going to go long,
Yeah.
right? Hercules base is pretty good. It's fallen out of favor recently,
Mm.
in the OCG at least, but it was a mainstay for a long time. So it just seems like one of those cards, if you have room for it, why not? Sometimes they side deck it, but not really. Shark Cannon's more of a side deck card for a while, but I think it's moved its way back into the main deck now that Sky Striker is the top dog.
Well, the choices have been made, and now we're going to see how they pan out.
Yep. Our judges just giving the decks one final shuffle. As you can see during the interlude there, you can see the number of people that were on the stage looking after this match. Translators, judges, chaperones, you name it. They're out on the stage.
The main stage.
Yep.
Simoncelli on match point here. 1 win away of taking home a nice trophy during our awards ceremony at the end of the day. In fact, all of our players are going to be getting some pretty neat stuff just for making it to the World Championship, including unreleased cards.
Yep.
I think they all get at least 1 box of Shadows in Valhalla.
Yep.
Yep.
I'll receive a box of Shadows in Valhalla, some sweet Japanese sets as well.
Get a
Couple
sneak
awesome
peek
game
at Soul
mats.
Fusion, I believe, and Hidden
Yeah.
Summoners.
I believe so, yes.
We got some exciting stuff coming up this fall.
Yeah, Soul.
And
I'm
just
really
this
excited
month.
for Soul Fusion.
Soul Fusion are
Yeah,
great.
Thunder Dragons look awesome.
Actually, there's a card in there that I really want for my Valkyrie deck.
Mm.
I want more ways to summon Valkyrie Dritta.
Mhm.
And there is, in fact, a monster that can do that for me. And search a forbidden, in quotes, spell card
Oh,
while I'm at it.
I know which monster you're talking
Yeah.
about. Sweet one. Definitely a sweet one.
All right.
Oh, he drew a
Jump.
monster.
Yeah, he's going first. He's got multi-roll. He's got Ray. That's a vast improvement.
Yeah.
So, Young, he's been able to summon a monster. He's in business at this point. Shizuku.
Shizuku.
Gonna go get the Widow Anchor.
No spells, though, so multi-roll is not doing much of anything. Shizuku, as a reminder, gets you a spell from your deck with a different name than every other card. A Sky Striker spell, rather. And it also reduces the attack of your opponent's monsters by 100 for each spell in your graveyard.
So, similar to Kagari, but she increases the attack of your monsters.
She's more of a defensive form, fluid like water. Whereas Kagari is the one you see on Afterburners, just flying straight through something with a sword at supersonic speeds.
Yeah.
Activates Widow Anchor during the end phase.
Yeah.
So he can set it back to the field. And that's a good trick. If you're a Sky Striker player, I would definitely pick that one up if
Yeah.
you don't already know about it.
Yeah, it's a really cool trick.
Simoncelli, all monsters.
6 monsters. He does have Drunk Forward, though.
Now, I see one Octastretch. Does he have both?
I don't think so.
There's Marauding Captain in there.
Yeah, there's 2 other foil cards. I think one might be a Twist Cobra. I'm unsure what the other foil monster is, and then the one on the far right is not foil, but it doesn't look like Octastretch. I think the one on the far right's the Marauding Captain.
Junk Forward, level 3 Earth Warrior can be special summoned from your hand if you control no monsters. Takes a look at Ray there. She can come back if Shizuku leaves the field.
There's Twist Cobra.
And they are sent away for a Link Summon. he sold chain link 1, twist over chain link 2.
I'm just checking that Francesco is blocking the Isolade with the Twist Cobra's effect. Because it can make all the difference.
I guess he's considering right now whether he wants to use Widow Anchor now or wait for the second effect.
Yeah.
What do you think's more correct?
You gotta wait for the second effect. Your opponent's already used their normal summon and it wasn't on Super X, so you're already feeling good. So you want to make sure that they don't get any more monsters onto the field. Because right now Rematch is not live, and he would basically have to have Soul Charge, I believe, given his deck list.
So sorry, what are the merits of waiting to Widow Anchor on the second effect? Versus
Oh,
the first effect?
so that he gets the equip card out of his deck, can't use it later.
Oh, I understand. Okay, yeah. That's that.
Yeah, so you can't use the Isolade again.
Yeah. Well, he has the second equip, but
Oh yeah.
even then,
it's
it's just cost, right, to send the equip card.
Yes.
Yeah. So he could activate it either way. So then in that way, isn't it better to just shotgun it then?
Just use it on the first one.
Yeah, because you just deny him a search.
Because they might have drawn the second one,
The second equip spell.
the second equip.
Oh, I understand what you're saying. Okay.
And you see,
Yep.
he does exactly that. And he does not get control of Isolde, though.
Yeah, it does not have enough spells for that effect.
The other thing is the second effect is hard once per turn.
The take a monster? Or the negate
The
effect?
special summon from your deck.
Oh, I understand. That makes more sense. And it's, yeah, and Widow Anchor doesn't negate the activation, right? Just negates
Right,
the
just
effect.
negates the effects of the monster.
Francesco here, not looking too happy with what he's managed to muster up.
It's not great, and I guess he still can defeat Shizuku in battle. However, that'll spring Ray back from the graveyard.
Young's got the ideal setup really here. He's got a Sky Striker Link monster. He's got multi-roll. Nothing more you really want as a Sky Striker player.
Some spell cards would be good.
Yeah, does he have Engage? Do we know he has Engage?
I have
He was
not
forced to
seen
search
it.
the Widow Anchor, right? So he'd have a defensive card during
Yeah.
Simoncelli's turn.
Yes.
So still, like, he could still just run out of gas here.
All right. And they're clarifying something here. I'm not 100% certain what it is. And he flips. Is that Eagle Booster?
No, that's Hercules.
Is that
base.
Hercules base?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So he's
And
going
he
to get
flips
back
it so
Ray.
that so that they trade. He gets the spell card into the graveyard. They trade in battle, and then Ray pops back out.
Yep.
Nice.
Very good.
He can
Very
even
good
press for
indeed.
more damage here, right? Using Ray's effect during the battle phase.
Yeah.
Yep. It is a quick effect to tribute her, and you get to special summon one of your Sky Striker Link monsters from your extra deck. And you can basically get Kagari here for more damage. One thing to note, you can only special summon each of the Link monsters once per turn. It's not exclusively Link summon them once per turn. It's just something you have to keep in mind from time to time. So Kagari gets plus 100 for each spell in your graveyard, and also gets you a spell back from your graveyard when you summon her. That's an attack armor. I kind of like the samurai style coat that she has on it. It almost looks like Legendary 6 Samurai Shien's
A little
coat.
bit,
A
yeah.
little bit, yeah. And then he swaps it out for Shizuku. But she gets hit by Infinite Impermanence.
Yep, and it's in the same column as multi-roll.
Very well done
That
by
is good.
Simoncelli, placing his Impermanence in the right place.
And it's very likely here that Jung doesn't have any more defensive cards because he was forced to search Widow Anchor last turn. If he had a defensive card, he probably would have just searched Engage so he could get the ball rolling.
There goes Francesco's second junk forward that he started with.
And this time he's got Suprex. Suprex summoning 1 Octastretch. How many does he play? 2 Octastretch?
I would assume so. 2 is the standard. Yeah. Yes, 2 copies.
I saw at least one person shave on it and only play 1. I think in the Dragon Duel.
Oh, the only person, yeah, I'm unsure. I think even the Japanese player who was playing like the Dark Hero Sky Striker version of the deck also played 2 Octastretch. I think that one is kind of one that's really hard to slim on.
Yeah, it's
I think
so
you
important.
can slim on basically all the other ones, but that one is the hardest one. Even Suprex. I've seen less Suprexes. For example, I think that deck only played 1 to 2, but drawing Octastretch is a bit of a beating.
Well, we see our second round of Isolde. It is 2 Tales of the Noble Knights after all.
Yeah, what a great picture as well. Artwork, should I say. Great artwork.
That's definitely a story that you should look up. It's really sad.
Yeah. One awesome thing about, we're talking about Isolde artwork, I know that there is a Korean exclusive game mat with Isolde on it.
Interesting.
Wow.
It's a Link Reigns pack release game mat.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, did they do a release celebration for
I think
that,
so,
or a sneak
yeah.
peek?
Yeah. And I think it's the only territory that has a Isolde game mat right now, but it's a good looking one.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Pretty jelly about that. I'd like an Isolde.
Well, I mean, we've got some more Noble Knight cards coming up in Soul Fusion. At
Anything can
least
happen.
one of them might make a pretty nice game map. Goki rematch comes down next. And it looks like he has not used the second effective Isolde. Special summons Octastretch and Twist Cobra. Do you think he drew the other Octastretch?
Possibly, but I don't see it in his hand.
Maybe he's saving it for something later, or trying to get like an extra firewall trigger or something.
He's got a plan.
But requires just a little bit more thought.
Yeah.
He's banishing Junk Forward and Old Isolde to get Phoenix Blade. Both Link monsters pointing to that center monster zone.
Gonna Link summon Nightmare Goblin. Activates the effects. It was Goki.
Looks like he's thinking about activating the effect of the Nightmare as well. But he does not. It's a search only. Headbat gives you another special summon.
I feel like both players are kind of in this tense moment where, you know, Francesco's playing through his combo and hoping that Young has nothing as he's going through.
Yeah, well, it doesn't seem like Young has had much so far.
No.
Yep, searching that Widow Anchor. Typically a telltale sign.
I do wonder what those other cards are, though. The face downs.
What that could be. He has copies of Infinite Impermanence and Evenly Matched have been by far the most popular trap cards this tournament. Those are the other trap cards he has. He doesn't really board anything else or side deck anything else that might be brought in.
So if one of them's got to be Impermanence. Would you even set Evenly Matched?
No, definitely not.
I don't think I've ever set it.
Yeah. His other card could just be like a Jamming Waves or something like that, right?
Yeah.
We saw him have a Hercules base set.
That's true.
Yeah, so it's probably just some Sky Striker card that he hasn't had an opportune time to activate, and Jamming Waves seems like it would be the big one.
Oh, it's a second Widow Anchor.
Oh, that's interesting.
And he uses it once again on the second effective Isolde.
So maybe he was just being extra careful searching the second Widow Anchor.
Very interesting.
Well, he managed to shut down both of the Isolades.
Well, that does put a bit of a hamper in what Simoncelli is trying to do here. He does have at least one more summon available to him, but I think the biggest loss is the 2 materials worth. Oh, that's right. No, he doesn't have 3 spells, so he doesn't get to take control of it.
He's spin away that set card with Unicorn because he has a read that it's likely not something that can be activated.
Yeah, it can't be targeted because it's or Unicorn and Goblin can't be targeted because they're co-linked. Yeah, it always seems Sky Striker decks always have 3 spells in the graveyard, so when they don't, it's it's always surprising to be a bit.
Francesco here really looking like he's starting to take the reins of this game. He was a little bit unsure while Young had those face downs, but now there's nothing standing in the way apart from that Shizuku.
For exactly what you said before, Jerome, I think that was the reason so many duelists were playing Foolish Burial Goods and Metalfoes Fusion.
Yeah.
Yeah, for a long time, but they eventually dropped those for just more interaction.
We haven't seen it at all. No Metalfoes Fusion here.
I think there was one player who was playing that.
There was one player?
Yeah, just one player. He didn't make the top cut though.
I do like that we were giving out the Millennium item dice.
Yes.
To the players here as well.
Yep.
See that Millennium puzzle die indicating
very
how many
cool.
spells have been used.
They're very, very cool, those ones.
One thing they do like is that everybody has their own cool stuff in their area, so there really is a reason to just travel around
Yeah.
if you have the means to do so.
No, definitely. I think that's also one exciting part about playing the World Championship specifically is that you can play with any language cards.
Yeah.
So you get to see players who have like all sorts of things in their deck. Like we see a lot of the cards in Jung's deck, for example, have that it's like a special, almost like DT rarity looking on top of the Sky Striker cards, or there's a lot of like Prismatic Secret Rares, or we see like
Shatterfoil, I think is.
Oh yeah, it's similar to Shatterfoil, yeah. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
All right, so we got Nightmare Goblin taking a bow in place of Nightmare Mermaid.
As you know, big fan of the dual terminal cards. We spent a lot of time in Akihabara over the week trying to find a specific one, but still didn't manage to track it down.
You could just get dual Lawrence.
Yeah, I know. It's got to be Trishula though.
Just gonna special summon a Goki Headbat off of the Firewall Dragon, and then Nightmare Corruptor Ably comes down from the deck, thanks to the effect of Nightmare Mermaid.
This is certainly trouble for Young.
Yeah.
Yeah, he went from having some stuff to not a lot of stuff, and Francesco's gone the opposite way.
6 monsters, not exactly the worst hand with Goki.
No.
Yeah, when you have stuff like Junk Forward and
Yeah.
Super X, all those, it's kind of hard. I saw a couple players playing the Goki deck that was using Fossil Dig and Gilasaurus as well.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, oh yeah, that's right. I remember seeing Gilasaurus.
Yeah, that was clever.
I think Jesse Cotton was playing that version too.
Yeah, and he did make the top 8.
Yeah. Yeah. Just more ways to accelerate level 3s into play, more monsters. It's similar to the hero variant, or the one that plays Armageddon Knight and Destiny Hero Malicious. Just more ways to do stuff. It's gonna activate a bunch of effects: Nightmare Goblin, a Goki Search, and the Firewall Dragon trigger. All chain onto each other.
All right, so search will happen first.
I think the Goblin is second, and finally the Firewall Dragon last.
The extra draws off of Divine Sword Phoenix Blade they're really something.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't seem like a whole lot at first, because you're like, oh, well, you're always discarding this. You're always discarding, but it's like Sinister Serpent. It just keeps coming back, except it's all these times in the same turn instead of just each standby.
I think it's just converting resources that already had an advantage given, being the Goki monsters in the graveyard, into even more advantage, which is just crazy. Being able to get, one advantage from them, and then later on get even more.
He's going to use his additional summon on Marauder Captain, and then use its effect to special summon Goki Twist Cobra from his hand.
I don't believe there's been any battle quite yet.
Definitely is going to be, though.
Yeah. He activates Called by the Grave to banish Ray.
It looks like Jung's considering using Ghost Bell, I believe.
That's basically his only defense is that Ray, so he's got to keep it around. Uses Ghost Spell.
I think he's considering.
Let's see in a second.
Smiling about something interesting. came up.
Yeah.
Lets it go.
Yeah, he looks pretty happy about this.
I mean, how much does that Ray? The Ray matters in terms of that he might not be able to game him this turn, but
Yeah.
other than that, does it really matter that much at all?
In the grand scheme of things,
Yeah,
I
probably
don't think
not
it
very
will,
much.
which is likely why he let it go. And he reduces Shizuku's attack using Underclock Taker. I think it's the first time I've seen its effect used in this particular event.
Yes, I think that's the first time I've seen its effect used ever. Actually,
Really? You haven't played any Mech Knight Invoked?
I did not play much against that.
Ah,
No.
so one of the common combos in that deck is to have Underclock Taker pointing to Invoked Purgatrio.
Oh, that's cool.
So you reduce their thing and then whack them really hard once and take out the rest of their monsters.
That's
and
pretty
just kind of OTK them that way.
So the reason Francesco was chuckling away is because he actually had a second call by the grave.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
And he did. Looks like he did indeed use it.
yeah, there's not a lot in the way of this field right now.
So the Shizuku was down to, I believe, 200. And I'm not exactly certain how many spells are in Jung's graveyard right now. It's not many. It's like 1 or 2 at most.
Don't you just love Yu-Gi-Oh! The way that, like, Underclock Taker, you just said you've not seen that being used for ages, and Francesco, you know, he knew it was an option to him, and he was able to just still think about that while he's getting through this combo.
Yep.
It's amazing.
And the best part is,
That
so with
finishes
the
it off.
Twist Cobra, he gets the 16 from the Twist Cobra attack, and then when Ray Scorpio attacks, he can just tribute off Twist Cobra to add another 16 on,
Yeah.
and double up those attack points. And he does, in fact, get it.
Yep. So Simoncelli has won his trophy.
Yep.
Yep.
He has made 3rd place. He'll
Yep.
be part of our award ceremony later on and receive his hardware.
Awesome. Yep. Don't feel too bad for Jung though. He still walks away with the World Championship prize card.
Yeah, he
That's
does.
true, he does. And all that other cool stuff.
Yeah.
I don't even know quite everything we're giving him,
And
but
the
it's a
goodie
lot of
It's a
stuff.
big list. I've seen the
Yeah,
list.
pretty
and
darn
I
good.
can't remember it all.
Yeah.
It's good stuff.
Yeah, I'm really excited to check out the game mats because the game mats are always tied to the World Championship
Ooh,
cards.
that's
Yeah,
right.
I
I haven't
actually
seen
haven't
them
seen them yet. Yeah.
I haven't
Yeah.
seen the World Championship cards yet.
Yeah,
neither
neither
have
have I.
I was just talking with Matt earlier, and he's not seen them either.
And
no one's seen them.
yeah, this weekend, though, you can also get your own cool World Championship swag if you're playing in our World Championship celebrations all throughout the world.
Yep.
You got those nice little envelopes with some
Yep.
cool things for you, among
yeah.
other stuff.
Dark Magician promo, a Blue Eyes White Dragon promo. There's also
Yep.
a game mat and a deck divider, which I'm a big fan of.
Yeah?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it has
I like
a nice gold stamp on it, similar
Okay.
to last year's World Championship envelopes.
Envelope.
Yeah.
I like the deck divider as well.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah,
Big, big
it
fan.
looks awesome.
Yeah, I haven't
Really
seen any
does.
of this. I
Oh,
was
really?
just stuck in my office working on all of the other world stuff and all the other things we're doing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the deck divider is pretty cool.
Yeah.
It has last year's World Championship prize card on Second
Okay.
Dragon.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's good looking.
And
Very
I got to see the Dark Magician and Blue Eyes cards this morning.
Yeah?
They look awesome.
Yeah, they're
Oh,
the 20th
fantastic.
anniversary secret rare.
Yeah,
Red
with
name,
with a stamp on
name.
it.
Boston. Yeah.
Parallel secret, yep, embossed 20th anniversary logo.
Very cool.
Sweet ones.
Looks really good.
Well, I will have to see if I can lay eyes on those
Yeah.
at some point in between now and the next time we see you.
Yep.
Which is going to be later this afternoon. We're not back until the finals, like
No.
the actual finals begin.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, the next time you see us will be to decide the well, actually, no, what would the Dragon Duel be first?
Yeah, so we're going to do Dragon Duel first, and then we're going to switch over to Duel Links,
Yep. So
Yeah.
you'll see the other three guys over there.
and then we will have the finals Trickstar versus Altergeist for the All Ages event to decide who is the World Champion 2018.
Yeah, what an interesting match that will be.
Yep. It's shaping up to be a thrilling finale to the 2017-2018 competitive season.
Yeah.
And we hope you'll come back and join us for us.
Yeah.
See you then.
See you soon.